Let's get this 500 off right, boy! We'll come home and win the Daytona 500!
Eric Monaco is gonna win at Pocono for the Subway 100.
Jake Galloway will win at Darlington in the Powerway Truck Series.
Coming off the corner, it's going to be Ben Crouch taking home the win here at Chicagoland.
Really though? No he won't! Kuklon! What's up everyone, it's your boy Race97 aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome everyone to Charlotte Motor Speedway 4, race number 21 on the season, and for the Jegs 500 at Charlotte. This is race 21 on the season for season 3 of the Red Bull Cup Series, and we just have 4 races to go, I should say, of the season. Charlotte, Chicagoland, and Phoenix for the round of 8, and then the final 4 in the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be fun. No more wild race tracks, no more wild card race tracks, no more super speeds, no more road courses. We just have 3 mile halves and 1 short track to end season number 3 of the Red Bull Cup Series. The final season of the series being called Red Bull Cup Series before it turns into the JBL Cup Series in season number 4. But last time out at Road America, it was pretty much a snooze fest. Unlike the truck race the day before, it was wild and chaotic. The Cup race was just a snooze fest, and it was dominated by Noah Clifton, who finally got his first career win in the Red Bull Cup Series after coming oh so close so many times in season number 2. During the second half and so far in season number 3. He honestly should have 3 or 4 wins by now and be up there with Roger Way. But yeah, no, Clifton, he didn't really need to win at Road America. He was already gonna be in on points the way that he was looking like at that point, but he wanted to win anyway. So the Aussie got his first win on the season and locked himself into the round of 8. And now we come to a track for Noah. Earlier on in the season, came also close to winning. He dominated the closest and should have won that, but had to pit late. Hopefully that doesn't happen to him again, but we just have to wait and see. As you see, is a the top 3 are all playoff drivers. 3 out of the 8, so 1, 2, 3. So at Road America, we nailed down the chase grid from 12 to 8, and the 4 drivers that got eliminated were Brett Sear, Rob Evans, Diego Yepes, and Wyatt Quayle. 3 rookies as well, so there's only 2 rookies left, and both of them happen to be from Team Penske. So this is how the points shake up going into Charlotte yesterday and starting out the round of 8. Roger definitely has a advantage. He comes in here with 4 wins, 4,020 points. Johnny Garner comes in here second in points, 4,010 points. And then from 3rd through 7th, they all have a win, so it's all 4,005 points. And the only chaser without a win up to this point, but very consistent as well, is Bradley Weem, I should say, in number 22. 0 wins, 4,000 points. So he definitely has some more work to do than others, but the way that Bradley Weem has been and the way that Team Penske has been, they can be very consistent and they can pop up out of nowhere. And who knows, maybe 1 or 2 of them can make it to the final 4 at Homestead. This is crunch time now here in the Red Bull Cup Series. 3 races to decide of who will make it into the season number 4. Into the season number 3 final 4 at Homestead Miami Speedway, and it all starts off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and for the Jegs 500. So here is the top 10 starting grid as looks like everyone is rolling off, and they are. So, here is top 10 for the Jegs, 500 for race 21 on the season. Angel O'Vale starts on the pole, and alongside him is Noah Clifton. On number 2, we have Mitchell Collins and Brett Sealer. On number 3, we have Rob Evans and Jake Galloway. And on number 4, we have the part-time race winner, Bendover. Alongside him is the, I'm pretty sure the all-time wins lead in the series, and by far the most wins on the season with 4, Roger Way, and season number 2 champion. And rounding out the top 10, we have the number 95 of Christian Vargas and the number 20 of Carter Friesen. So, it's going to be a wild one here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 80 laps of action around this mile-and-a-half track. And this could be a preview of what we will see in about 3 or 4 weeks from now at Homestead, Miami. Because this race and Homestead are both 500-mile long races, and they are both 80 laps long. Here we go. Angel Vale, Noah Clifton. Crunch time is real. The line of 8 is green from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Angel O'Vale for Joe Gibbs Racing will lead lap number 1. And the 2 teams that have 2 cars left in the round of 8, Team Penske and Joe Gibbs Racing are 1-2 right now with O'Vale and Mitchell Collins. And Rob Evans is in 3rd right behind him. He got eliminated after a poor performance in the round of 8 and a poor performance at World America. But he doesn't care. He still wants to get his 2nd win on the season. And he very well could do that here today at Charlotte. And he's going to go for the race lead from out from Bendover right behind him. 3 by 3, I mean 2 by 2 by 2, I mean 3 and 4 rows deep, and they are 3 and 4 back behind them. It should be all fine and dandy as long as they don't go 4 wide. Rob Evans out front in the number 65. Still, he wants another win, even though he's not in the playoffs anymore. He wants another win. But the crazy thing is that the last 3 races have been won by a playoff driver. John Garner at, that was Roger Ray at Las Vegas, Zachary DeLillo at Talladega, and Noah Clifton at Road America. So playoff drivers are trying to go 4 straight, but the odds are not in their favor. The odds haven't been in their favor, but they are not now, since there's only 8 playoff drivers now instead of 12. But the highest playoff driver is now Johnny Garner in this number 5 machine. Both the 5 and 65, Evans Garner most, which they have been on a tear ever since the playoffs have started in the Rebel Cup Series. And even though Rob Evans is out of the playoffs, he's still very fast in that number 65. And that team is 1-3 here at Charlotte. That team will not return next season, but we know Johnny Garner will go. He/she, whatever you want to call it, will go over to Stuart Haas Racing in the number 14 that season, as that is almost contact and as 4 wide back in the chaos in the middle of the field. That was very, very tight, but they're gonna settle it back down. And with all this racing in like 10th through 20th, that's allowing about the top 5, the top 5 to pull away. Now as Evans going to Motorsports teammates 1-2 here at Charlotte, Clayton in 3rd, Lucas in 4th, and Bendover in 5th. If this race goes green all the way, which I doubt it, then we will have 2 to 3 pit stops in this one. So it's about 25-28 laps on fuel. So if that's the case, then we will have 2 to 3 pit stops here at Charlotte. Johnny Garner wants to get past Evan Garner wants to get by Rob Evans for this race lead, but now's not the time to do it. It's only 8 laps in, but I don't know. He wants that bonus point though. He wants every point that he can get. He can't get there though, but they are 2 cars handling very well here at Charlotte. And here comes the part-time racer and bend over trying to take third away from Vargas, but he can't get there. Vargas, he is going from the Vine Fan Racing over to the number 43 of Mitchell Petty Motorsports in season number 4. So that's gonna be interesting. Mitchell Petty has not had a good season this season, that's for sure, with Josh Williamson, but who knows, maybe with a veteran of Christian Vargas, that team can be strong next season. Of course, next season, it's gonna be a little bit more fair, because this season I randomized range from a range. This next season, everyone's gonna have the same range. It's gonna be 60 to 75 for everyone. It's not gonna be randomized from a range. So it's gonna be more fair, and we can see a lot more winners next season. Stephen Cohen up to third now, and here comes the driver with 4 wins on the season, Wadraway in the number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs Racing still have 2 cars in the round of 8, and probably the best car that they have, the best driver that they have, and probably one of the best cars in this series. It's moving his way up to the front already, up to 4th, and Mitchell Collins up to 5th. He was really consistent in the round of 8, and let's just say if playoff driver wins all 3 races, someone's gonna be in on points. I doubt that, but anything can happen. Johnny Garner going to the inside of Rob Evans now, wants to get bonus point, wants to lead a lap, but Stephen Cohen might not let that happen because he gets a massive run through 1 and 2, and he's gonna go to the inside, but he has no help behind him, 1 in front of him, so he's gonna just try to take second away from Rob Evans. Wadraway trying the top side out, trying to help Rob Evans a little bit, but couldn't make it work, so he's gonna, I think, try to pass him on the inside lane, and no, Stephen Cohen still can't, and now Wadraway is gonna go to the inside and block Quinton, follow Stephen Cohen, and probably take third away. Oh, contact in the mid pack there, but they sell it back down. 13 laps in of 80 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Johnny Garner is still at the leader's 2nd straight lap here at Charlotte. Stephen Cohen, we don't really know what Stephen Cohen's going to do next season. We know that he's going to drive full-time for GMS Racing in the number 21 truck, but we don't know if he will race in the Cup Series next season, as that's a close call between himself and Wadraway. So it's going to be interesting if what happens during his sign-ups. Wyatt Quayle, we don't know what he's going to do next season either, so there's going to be some, like, a lot of veterans are always returning, so there's not that many slots left, but for some of these rookies, I expect to return, but some of them, I don't know if they will return or not. Just have to wait and see when sign-ups happen. But right now, Johnny Garner controlling the field out front, Stephen Cohen in 2nd, Wadraway in 3rd, trying that top side out. At Charlotte, not really the best place to try it. The top side can work at times, but with this package it doesn't really work that well. Bend over, the highest part-timer inside the top 5. We saw what happened last year, and the last time that we were here at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. A part-timer ended up squeezing out a win late in that race, and we have to wait and see if that happens. He wants it again, but right now 3 out of the 8 part-time playoff drivers, I should say, are inside the top 5. Johnny Garner, Wadraway, and Mitchell Collins. But then the next playoff driver is all the way back to Angel Olvera and Vlad Levine. So these part-timers, these playoff drivers, I should say, are getting challenged left and right. But no, Clifton, he has momentum coming fresh off of a victory, and he has momentum just here at Charlotte in general, because I think, yeah, he was very close to winning the truck race and very, very close to winning the Cup race here at Charlotte on 4th of July weekend. So he knows about to get around this track. Might be one of his favorite racetracks on this season. So can't count Clifton at all. And this race. But right now, Johnny Garner, he's been red hot ever since the playoffs started. And before I thought that it was going to come down to like Roger Ray and Noah Clifton and Jake Galloway for the championship and for the Final Four. But now, not Roger Ray, but John Garner has been red hot, and now he is trying to get win number 3 on this season and lock himself into the Final Four. And we're now looking awfully strong. Lean, give out Charlotte, but here comes Roger Ray. He has 4 wins on the season. He broke that record, and now he has the record for the most wins in a single season in the Red Bull Cup Series. With 4 wins and still 4 races to go, that he could possibly get more. The Season 2 champion. Some people thought it was a fluke, but very lucky in that it was based off of the point system of how he won the championship. But he's definitely shown that he is the man of the season with 4 wins up to this point. But Johnny Garner also getting very strong as well. And now these two are 1-2, and Mitchell Collins super consistent lately. And now he is up to 4th place. Here comes Patrick Smith, the season number 1 champion. Not really had a good past 2 seasons driving this number 10 for Sulas. He's leaving this team and going over to Roush Fenway Racing in the number 17. And let me just say this, Roush Fenway Racing is going to be stacked next season with the season number 1 champion of Patrick Smith and a round of 8 contender of Zachary Galletto right now. So Roush Fenway could be a deep threat and make it into the playoffs in season number 4. But see, we don't know what he's going to do next season. We know that he's going with the number 19 for the brand new Bill McAnally racing team in trucks next season, but we don't know if he's going to return in Cup or not. Of course, he's a rookie, but he could return during signups, or if he can win Rookie of the Year, which I forgot to mention this for the past couple of races, but that Rookie of the Year battle is spicy because there's about 6 or 7 drivers that are within 15 points of each other, and then the way that works is because there's 15 rookies. The highest finishing rookie gets 15 points, and the lowest finishing rookie gets 1 point. So that Rookie of the Year battle is very, very close, and it's gonna be very exciting to see how that plays out all the way down to Homestead. But meanwhile, while I was looking back through the field, Mitchell Collins is now up to 3rd in that number 2 for Team Penske. He has not won since the Daytona 500, but he has been probably one of the more consistent drivers and one of the more quieter drivers, and like really consistent but quiet. Not like to the level of Noah Clifton or Jake Galloway, but he's been quiet throughout these playoffs, very consistent, and if he can keep this up, Collins could point his way into the round, to the Final Four. Or heck, he might even win this thing, because he has a fast long one called here at Charlotte, and he's going to try to take 2nd away from Roger Ray now. And we should be seeing pit stops soon, and we will. Rob Evans is the only one to pit on that number 25 here at Charlotte. And, that means we will see, I believe, 3 pit stops in this race. 2 to 3 pit stops. Yeah, 3 pit stops. If this goes green all the way, which I doubt, then they're going to have to pit again around that 50 and again around that 75. And now a lot of drivers are pitting here. A busy pit road. Oh, jeez. Zach Winkle. And oh, jeez. The 51 ran right into the back of Christian Vargas. Mark Davidson ran right into the back of Vargas, and we had more stacking up. The 53 as well for Rick Ware is also destroyed. And Elijah Gordon has back end damage. Luckily, that did not bring out a caution. And actually, Dale Kimmel as well. So 3 out of the 4 Rick Ware racing cars are destroyed with incidents on pit road. and Travis Clifton as well. A stack-up effect. That's exactly what happened. And a lot of cars involved. And watch where he's still out there, and now no, Clifton makes contact with Angel Vera, and he's gonna be stuck on pit road. Actually, never mind. Fergus just hit Clifton and helped him. He saved him. That's what happened. Fergus saved Clifton. If Fergus did not hit him, he would have got stuck on pit road. And oh man, this is one of the harder pit roads to get onto. And looks like the 52 of Yepes is also gonna be stuck on pit road as well. So watch Ray. He stayed out longer than anyone else. He waited to pit on lap number 29. Lap 28 to lap 29. So that was probably really smart. He was the last one to pit. And he got to avoid all that chaos that had been on pit road with Travis Crampton, Noah Clifton, Angel Vera, and 3 out of the 4 Rick Roll Racing cars. And now the question is, who is going to be lean? I think Johnny Gunn is lean at the moment. And Module is going to be falling back. And yes, it will be Johnny Gunn the lean this race. Bendo is going to be second. Yepes is going to be a lap down, I believe. Yes, he will. Rob Evans in third. Bronson Minnick is going to be in fourth. Minnick in fifth. Yeah. And then Mitchell Collins in fifth. So 2 out of the 3 Penske Carsons at the top 5 now after pit stops. Sat Winkle in 6th. John Andrews in 7th. Evan Hunter in 8th. Stephen Cohen in 9th. Wait. Oh, Sat Winkle's a lap down. Never mind. Sat Winkle's a lap down. So the top 10 is Johnny Garner with the 2-second lead. Rob Evans, Mitchell Collins, Bronson Minnick, Ben Dover, Christian, John Andrews, Evan Hunter, Stephen Cohen, William Block, and the 31 of Andrew Miller. So a lot of surprises inside the top 10 now after a wild cycle of pit stops. Bradley Ream outside the top 10 in 11th, Quentin Moore in 12th, Ryan Quill in 13th, Osman Harmon in 14th, and Carter Friesen rounds out the top 15. And watch Ray, he stayed out the longest, but that might have cost him a good shot at the win. Because sure, he was not involved in anything, but now he is in 30th place now. And for Noah Clifton, he got screwed on pit road like we saw, and he is in 31st. And Overa, something happened to Overa as well, because he's back in 35th. So that's 3 playoff drivers that are deep in the field right now here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the 51 of Mark Davidson is out, and I think the 10 of Pat Smith blew up somehow, because he has a header that went south on that number 10 machine. Tough way for Pat Smith. He was having a great one for once, and that's going to unfortunately take him out. And just a bad day for Rick Whaler, because all 4 of the cars had problems. Hamill, Thibodeau, Davidson, and Diego Yepes in the number 52. This is really interesting, because Johnny Garner, he's being caught because of his package and not wanting to be by himself. But John Anders, we have not seen John Anders that much this season in this number 24 machine. We don't even know if he's returning next season to the Cup Series, and he's in 2nd right now. Evan Hunter, who won at Darlington, he's up to 3rd now. Stephen Cohen up to 4th. And America Monaco up to 5th. So, man, things change a lot here at Charlotte. One of the harder pit roads and one of the harder racetracks. on the schedule. And we tend to see that a lot, where like this people making mistakes on pit road, and that unfortunately happened to a lot of people. And for Travis Crampton, he is the slowest, one of the slowest people on the racetrack. He's 37th. It's been a bad season for Travis Williamson, a forgettable season. Flow has been getting really good. The other two cars, the 38 and the 34, are inside the top 10. Both of those cars are returning. That 36 car is shutting down that season, and Travis Williamson is going to the 38, so maybe Crampton can have a better season in the 38. But it's not been a good season for him whatsoever. But I think for Yepes, he's tries to lap down, but he's not that off the pace. He's just as fast, if not a little bit faster than Johnny Garner, and he's trying to get his lap back. And now he wants a caution. Yepes wants a caution, or maybe not. He isn't quite past Johnny Garner yet. But because of this, now John Andrews in the number 24 is going to challenge for the race lead, and he's going to take it away from Johnny Garner. John Andrews, we haven't seen him much this season. He is now in the race lead. Evan Hunter up to second now. He's trying to get second win in the playoffs, and who knows, he might be doing a Noah Clifton story right now. Because Noah Clifton, he was not that, like Noah Clifton last season, he was okay during the regular season, but once he did make the playoffs, he just went out and performed 1000% better. And that's the same thing that Evan Hunter is doing, but he's doing a little bit better than Noah Clifton. Because Clifton never won last season in the playoffs, but Evan Hunter always has a win. He won at Darlington, one of the harder tracks to get a win. And now Evan Hunter is in second place. At the line, we will be halfway through in the Jegs 500, and Evan Hunter is second right now. We already know that he's not returning to this team. He's going to Levine Family Racing for their final season that season, but he doesn't care. He wants this race win past halfway in the Jegs 500. Evan Hunter, and the number 38, is going for the race lead, and he will take it away as we are catching up to his teammate of Travis Crampton. But Crampton's going to let his teammate by, it looks like, easily here at Charlotte. And he will, and he's going to hold up John Andrews. And look at this, Mitch Collins, he's moving his way back up to the front, as well as Johnny Garner. So two of the fastest cars in this race are back up front. And same with Rob Evans, he's moving his way up to the front as well. And where did Zach Riccadillo come from? The Talladega winner. He always does this. He comes out of freaking nowhere. Now Delillo passed halfway, and he's inside the top 12, and he's in 11th place. Delillo, he is a sleeper in this championship for that number 8 for RCR Racing. Ben Dover, the part-timer who won the part-time race, he is now leading here at Charlotte, and now Yepes really wants the caution right now. But I don't know if we will get that. But here's the thing. If we are not careful, or if they are not careful, Vargas might go a lap down. Elijah Gordon might go a lap down. Derek Campbell's definitely gonna go a lap down. He's not even going 170. Like Elijah Gordon, Christian Vargas, Angel Vera, Noah Clifton, Jake Galloway, Roger Ray, and Eli Bright. If they're not careful, they might get lapped before pit stops either. But I know we only have 5 or 6 laps until round 2 of pit stops, so they might not be in a bad shape. But we still have a massive pack, and hopefully once we get to the round 2 of pit stops, they can be a little bit more easy and not have as much carnage. But Stephen Cohn in the number 47 going for the race lead, and no, not really going. He went for the race lead and he took it from Bendover. And now here comes Mitchell Collins making it 3 wide for 3rd place. This Team Penske number 2 team. Team Penske as a whole has been pretty consistent this season. They've only won 1 time. That was at the Daytona 500. But other than that, all 3 cars have been super consistent. Now Mitchell Collins is up to 3rd. And Monster America's up here as well. And I believe so was Riley Reed, but now he's fallen back to 19th and soon to be 20th. But still a very strong one for Team Penske. As hello to Dale Camel. He almost blocked his teammate. Yepes is fine to stay on the lead lap and wants a caution right now. Stephen Cohen, not a good season whatsoever for this 417. We already know that Andy Miller, with the 31 team shutting down for RCR, Andy Miller's going to go over to this number 417 and bring over some experience to the team. But, Bend over in 2nd. And now Johnny Garner and Mitchell Collins battling for 3rd place on the racetrack. And Johnny Garner will take it, and Rob Evans might be able to follow his teammate right by the number 2 of Mitchell Collins. And Stephen Cohen's not going to wait any longer. He's not going to be nice to Diego Yepes anymore, and he's going to try to put him a lap down once again. Yepes had his chance, he needed a caution, and it never happened, and now Yepes is back 1 lap down. And now Bendover part-timer is going to go to the inside as well. Rob Evans stays out. He was the first one that pitted last time or the last round of the pit stop. So whenever he pits, is when I expect him to pit. But Stephen Cohen doing a good job right out here at Charlotte, actually forming a little bit of a gap over himself and Eric Monaco. But looks like these guys are able to go a little bit longer than I thought on this one than the first one. Because normally they would have pitted by now if it was the last one, but they seem to be able to go a couple of laps longer than what I thought. But here comes Johnny Garner. He wants to take 2nd away from Eric Monaco in the number 46. But he can't get to the inside of him though. 50 laps down, 30 laps to go, and now 29 laps to go here at Charlotte for the race number 21 on the season, and for the Jegs 500. A caution-free race up to this point, 50 laps in, well 51 laps in the books, but still 29 laps to go in this one. And you know what, I think these guys might be trying to stretch it as long as they possibly can, and possibly make it to the end on one more pit stop. And here comes Johnny Garner, and here comes his teammate Rob Evans. Evans, Garner, most of his teammates doing some team strategy, potentially pitting together at the same time. And so is Josh Williamson pitting on that number 52. And so is the 53. And so is Angel Olvera. So here we go, the 2nd round of pit stops on that numbers 52 to 53. But it might cost him because Stephen Cohen and the top 5 are all staying out. A lot of people are still staying out and still trying to stretch it. They must realize that it's really close on fuel, and it will be really close on fuel right as of now. Because it's about 26 to 30 laps on fuel, like 26 to 28 laps of fuel. And the paying with 26 to 28 laps to go. Oh boy. And now everyone else is coming down onto pit road, and on a little bit of stack up effect, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Watch away realized what happened last time. It did not work out. He tried being the last one to pit, and it didn't work for him. So he went ahead and pit when these guys pitted. And now DJ Reed is staying out, and so is Brett Sela. 2 drivers that are out of the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. DJ Reed got eliminated in the round of 12. In the round of 16. Brett Sela got eliminated in the round of 12. And that's going to end the second cycle of pit stops. And now this is going to be interesting because they pitted on that 52. So that would be 29 laps to go. And they just pitted on that 55. So it's going to be 26 to 29 laps on fuel. If they can make it all the way. I mean, they did about, oh boy, it might be on fuel strategy because they pitted on that 26 to 28 the first time, and then they pitted on that 52 to 55 this time. It's gonna be fairly close if these guys can make it all the way, that's for sure. But you know, that strategy worked out perfectly because now John Garner and Rob Evans, they're gonna be 1-2 here at Charlotte. And you know what? If we have late race pit stops, that's what they might end up doing. They might try to gamble, pit early, and make it all the way on fuel. And it is. That is what it is. These two are 1-2, and they have almost a 3-second gap over Steam Cologne in third. But how about William Block? And the 24 of John Andrews, they are inside the top 5. Not really seen them all season long, and they are having a great one here today at Charlotte. Bendover up front as well. Evan Hunter up here, and how about Zachary Dillell and Bradley Ream? Both of them are inside the top 10 now, and so is Mitchell Collins. Both of the Penske drivers that are inside the playoffs are inside the top 10 now. Madison Toll out of nowhere in the number 42 for Chip Ganassi Racing. Osman Harmon out of nowhere as well. And Boyles, who got a good one at World America, he's up to 14th now. Josh Williamson up to 15th. So a lot of interesting scenarios here. But at the end of this race, we might more than likely have a fuel strategy race to the end. Bob Evans and John Young keep on battling for the race lead, and we have a 4-car Pat now trying to catch up with the top 2. And they're probably going to catch up with them here soon, because now they're going to catch up to Fergus and Elijah Gordon. Is anyone out? No, no one else is out. 35 cars on the lead lap. Once they catch up to the 3 and 95, there will be 33 laps, or 33 cars left on the lead lap. A caution-free race up to this point. At the line, we will be 60 laps complete here in the Jegs 500. And now we have 20 laps to go. And now Johnny Garner, he wants this race lead back, and someone might use a pick on one of these lap cars, but no, Johnny Garner's going to get past the number 65 of Bob Evans, and these two are doing perfect team strategy right now, that's for sure. But now, this 95 is going to slow both of them down, and that might allow these guys to catch up. But the thing is, they were in the 4-car pack, but now Stephen Cohen keeps on breaking away. I think Stephen Cohen has a faster car than these 3 guys, but he can't just do that. You need to be in the pack if you want to catch up with these top 2, the way that this package is. But now with these lap cars, let's see how much does Stephen Cohen gain. It was 2.5 and it's still 2.5. Only gained 2 1,000ths of a second. So, I think if anyone else wants to win, it might come down to fuel strategy, and Philo might as well. Although not having a good day, he's going to be in a hole at Chicagoland and Phoenix, that's for sure. Same with Noah Clifton. But Rodway, he's actually making some moves, and I think Rodway is going to be in a better shape than what Noah Clifton and O'Vale will be, but Clifton not having a good day as either. So 4 drives not having a good one. Rodway, Sebastian Coulon, Angel O'Vale, and Noah Clifton deep in the field. But then you have the other 4 round of 8 people of Bradley Ream, Mitchell Collins, Zachary Delano and Johnny Garner that are up front. And this what happened at World America. About half the field, about 6 of them were up front, and about 6 of them were in the back. And now 4 of them are in the back, and 4 of them are up front. Very interesting here at Charlotte. Caution free up to this point, and at the line it will be 15 laps to go in the Jegs 500 in race number 21 on the season. Garner out front, Rob Evans in second, and Stephen Cohn in third, still pulling away from this pack behind him. These two obviously have a plan. They've had a plan ever since the playoffs started. They want at least one of the cars to make it to the Final Four. Unfortunately, Rob Evans couldn't make it out of the round of 12. But the way it's looking like, if this plan works out and if they can make it all the way on fuel, then Johnny Garner might make it to the Final Four and get his third win on the season. But how about Mitchell Collins and how about Zach Delano? They have had great runs today, both inside the top 7 now here at Charlotte, both inside the top 10. And Delano, I don't know where he started, but he's been moving his way up through the field all race long. And that number 8, and he's still making moves. Now inside the top 5 for Delano. And same for Tall, she's making some moves as well in that number 42 machine. But for Elijah Bourne, he has actually caught up with, well, not really caught, but he's maintained the draft at least of the 5 and the 95, and these guys have a big pack now with 12 laps to go, but still they can't really catch up to Stephen Cohen. But I'm telling you, Delano, he is flying at number 8. He is 0.3 of a second faster than this 47 car right now, and he is faster than these top 2. So Delano, I think he took 4 tires, or they made some massive adjustments on that number 8 machine. I don't know what they did, but Zachary Delano, he is moving. He is moving right now in that number 8 machine. Of course, the season number 1 Clash winner, I believe, back when it was Powerade Clash. So Delano, a very good driver, a very consistent driver, definitely having his best season up to this point. So Delano won that Talladega, 20 points way in, and right now he's having a great one in that number 8 machine here at Charlotte. And oh boy, we're racing teammates to both timers as well. Hamill and Thibodeau 3 wide. And now we're catching up to Angel Vera, who does have some damage, it looks like, in that number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Catching up to Johnny Garner is catching up to him and trying to put him a lap down. So, these top 2, Evans and Garner, they have a 2.2 second gap over Stephen Cohen with 8 laps to go. With this pack, should they have about 10 or 12 cars in this lead pack, or in this secondary pack? Yeah, like 10 to 12 people, or 10 to 12 guys. But the thing is, they're gonna have to get past all 3 of these lap cars, and then, well, now all 4 of these lap cars, get by Rob Evans, and then get by Johnny Garner if they want to do anything. But at the same time, we don't know if they can even make it to the end on fuel. So this is interesting. A caution-free race up to this point. I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. A caution-free race up to this point. We saw what happened in the qualifying race. These guys must have learned what not to do and not make it 4 wide. But Stephen Cohen and Rich Collins moving their way up to the front. And Delano, he is getting screwed on the top spots. He was up right behind Cologne, and now he's fallen back like a walk almost outside the top 10. So they got by 2 lap cars. Colin and Collins both got by the Wickwood Racing cars. And now the rest of these guys have to try to get by as well. But the hard thing about Elijah Gordon, he isn't really that off the pace. He's maintaining a small gap between himself and Rob Evans. So it's going to be tougher for these guys to catch up. Collins knows that if he wants to catch up with these top 2, he needs to work with Stephen Cullen, and that's what he's doing right now. And they are pulling away from the second pack, and they are catching up with these front guys. But no, Clifton, fresh off of a win, not going to have a good one here today. Right now in 32nd place, and he might go a lap down before this race ends. Coming to 4 laps to go. Can they make it to the end of the race though without pitting? These top 2 are definitely off the pace. These guys are a little bit faster than these top 2 now. Three and a half laps to go at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Caution free up to this point. Still far from over. If these guys have to pit late, which I don't know, they might have to. Coming to 3 laps to go. Is anyone pitting this time by? Doesn't look like it. Watch where he's up to 22nd. So, you know that car's fast. He went from 32nd to 22nd in a couple of pit stops. So, watch where managing the most out of it. Coming to 2 laps to go. Will anyone have to pit? If people have to pit, then this could be the Coca-Cola 600 all over again. 2 laps to go now here at Charlotte. And oh no, the 53 of Jacob Thibodeau has to pit. He's a lap down car, but he's the first one and the only one that has to pit. Does anyone else have to pit? Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Does Johnny gonna have enough to make it? He's staying out. Is anyone else pitting? Doesn't look like it. So looks like most of these guys can make it on fuel. Final lap for Johnny Garner. Angel Romero trying to get his lap back, but I don't think that's gonna matter too much. But Stephen Cullen, he's caught up to these guys. I told you that he was faster than these top 2. He was. He is pushing the crap out of Evan. Out of Rob Evans, but it's not gonna matter. Johnny Garner, after a dominating performance, is going to win the Jegs 500, get his 3rd win on the season, and he's going to punch his ticket into the Final 4 at Homestead for the season number 4. For the season number 3, Red Bull Cup Series Championship 4. That was close. Stephen Cullen, if only he had a few more laps, and even for Mitch Collins as well, they could have gotten involved as well in that battle, but it didn't work out, and now I think they're out. And there they go. I think they just had enough, because I think Johnny Garner ran out of fuel right then and there. Wow, a caution free race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A pretty good one though, not like what happened at Road American. Yeah, I think Johnny Garner is definitely out of fuel, so he just had enough to make it. These guys just had enough to make it all the way to the end. If this was the Coca-Cola 600, then they would have had to make one more stop, and it would have been pretty interesting. But they didn't have to pit again, and Johnny Garner making his return full time to the series after wait, no, I'm dumb. But Johnny Garner a great season, 3 wins now on the season. And now he makes it to the Final 4 at Homestead. We know one driver that's going to make it to Homestead now, that's for sure. Well then, Johnny Garner gets the job done here for the Jegs 500. And a 1-2 finish for Evans Garner Motorsports as well. For Garner and Evans 1-2. Cohen in third, Collins in fourth, the second highest playoff driver. A great one from William Block, a great one from Osman Harvin, a great one for John Andrews, Brad Weem in eighth, DJ Reed in ninth, and Dillero rounds out the top 10. 4 playoff drivers inside the top 10. Johnny Garner, Mitchell Collins, Brad Weem, and Zachary Dillero. And then Bendover in 11th, Evan Hunter 12th, Tall in 13th, Friesen in 14th, Winsoff in 15th, Steele in 16th, Miller in 17th, Flores in 18th, Minnick in 19th, and Wadraway bounced all the way back up from outside the top 30 to bouncing back and gaining a 20th place finish. That's going to be possibly very crucial going into these next two races at Chicago and Phoenix. Josh Williamson 21st, Quinton Moore 22nd, Watson 23rd, Frazier 24th, Scott 25th, Woe 26th, Wyatt Quayle 27th, Francois Chastain 28th, Kuklon in 29th, that's going to hurt him in the points, and Eli Bright in 30th. And then Noah Clifton 32nd, and Olvera finishing 33rd. So that's going to be very, very close. 4 playoff contenders finishing inside the top 10, and then the rest of them finishing either besides Wadraway, the rest of them finishing deep in the field. Wadraway 20th, Clifton 32nd, Olvera 33rd, and yeah, so a very interesting race, that's for sure, here at Charlotte. Caution free. That's not something that we saw at the 600 at all. Caution free, and well then, a very interesting race, very enjoyable race though. Even though that was caution free, it was way more exciting than Road America was, that's for sure. So the points, the regular season points, the playoff points, rookie of the year points, and everything like that will come up at the end of the video. Congratulations to John Garner on getting his third win on the season and advancing to the Final Four at Homestead in a couple of weeks, in about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, in 3 weeks, I believe. Next weekend, the Twits are back, and the Cup go racing again. Twits are back after the final off week this weekend. And now, starting next weekend, we have 3 races for each series left: Chicagoland, Phoenix, and Homestead for Season 3 of the Ripple Cup Series and Powerade Twat Series. So, congratulations to Johnny Garner for getting the job done, and until Chicagoland next weekend for both Twats and Cup, I will see you guys then. Bye.